Anthropic claims it discovered the first documented case of an AI-led cyber attack. A Chinese state-sponsored hackers using Anthropic's Claude AI code tool to target about 30 organizations. It included tech, banks, government agencies. The Chinese embassy in the US says the accusations are baseless and without evidence. Tenable is one of the world's leading cybersecurity companies. It says many AI tools, including Chat and GPT, have multiple security vulnerabilities. Tenable's CEO is Steve Vintz. He's with me now. Steve, we've spent a lot of time on tonight's program, and we're sort of, you're pulling it all together for us, because the missing ingredient here, you heard Richard Edelman hopefully talking about trust. There is a lack of trust in AI. But there's also a thumping big security risk with it as well.
Hi, Richard. Thanks for having me here today. I agree. Trust has to be earned and not given. But what we're seeing is widespread adoption of AI. And we're also seeing threat actors accelerate the weaponization of AI. According to our research, nearly 90% of all organizations are adopting AI in some way, shape, or form. Yet nearly a third of those have experienced some AI-related breach or incident. And the tactics and techniques may vary in which AI is getting weaponized, but what we're seeing is adversaries now use LLMs, which are big AI models, to craft hyper-realistic, flawless emails to attack organizations.
How is this different from previous DNSs and all of those sort of things that we'd seen before?
Well, in some ways it is different, but in others it's not. See, AI is not magic. Yes, agentic AI can effectively automate attacks. It can decrease the cost of attack. It can democratize the threat and result in incredible speed for hackers. But these attacks, whether they're AI enabled or not, are usually a result of poor cyber hygiene. Which is a lack of MFA, multi-factor authentication, which means we're not scanning internet-facing assets, and we're not limiting access controls to minimize the blast radius of an attack. And I think what all this points to, Richard, and trying to connect the dots here, is that we need to fundamentally rethink our approach to cybersecurity when it comes to AI and how we manage risk. For decades, the security industry has been built around detection and response. We simply can't be fighting fires and trying to detect breaches. We need to move to more proactive measures.
Give me a practical example of what that means, more proactive measures.
Great question. And it means really three things. Number one, visibility. Number two, insight. And number three, action. And doing that all in a unified way. That means organizations need to develop a broad view of their entire digital footprint, so you can see every system, every device, whether it's on your network, in the cloud, or on the factory floor. All these industrial control systems are all digital. They're all susceptible to exploit. And that also means that we need to leverage AI for good to help organizations proactively, not reactively, identify weaknesses.
You see, the problem, I think, with this is that most companies would say, we're taking cybersecurity very seriously. We've made it almost impossible for most employees to get in, even when they intend to. But the reality is that it's the unknown unknowns and the knowns that you don't know. And therefore, is it possible to be, I mean, you're not going to get rid of every threat, but can you dramatically raise the level?
We certainly can. And I don't think we can eliminate the risk, but we certainly can reduce it. And we need to be thoughtful in our approach, and we need to change how we think about security, how we deploy our time, and how we invest our resources. And we have to acknowledge that hackers do have an asymmetrical advantage, meaning they only need to exploit one thing to be successful, whereas defenders need to secure everything to prevent attacks. And so we've innovated a lot over the years. We've become a very digital society, and security has become consequently an afterthought. Cybersecurity, exposure management needs to be a forethought.
I would say, sir, surely the biggest risk is people think they're doing a good job, and the reality is they're doing an absolutely terrible job in many cases.
I think that's fair to say. And the one thing here that we need to acknowledge is that, look, I don't think there's any stopping AI. AI is not necessarily a technology. It's a cultural revolution. It's going to change the way we work and the way and the way we act. We'll have major scientific breakthroughs in chemistry, math, and science. But we have to also acknowledge it comes with great risk. And if you look at cyber, for example, we'll incur over $10 trillion this year in cyber losses. And the cost of that is not just to the corporation, but it's also to the consumer.
I'm grateful for your time tonight, sir. Thank you. We'll talk more on that.